Well, here we are to the Lincolnshire Wolds Railway. That's Ernie and Ina, and there's Keith with Nina as well. Ernie and Nina come from Northampton, and Keith comes from Wellingborough. They've come to Cleethorpes for a few days, and they came to see me, so I brought them to the railway, and then Ernie had to go back after his couple of days, 2 or 3 days I think he spent here, and then he went back. Keith stayed on, and I took him to a few more places which you'll see shortly.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the battery that lasts a long time.
This one does, this one
Yeah.
does.
It's a pedal train. Pedal train. Yeah. Here we go. Pedal train, Ernie. Can't get your legs going.
Yes, we've all got cameras, and I'm filming them while we're all having a ride to the next station. There's only 2 stations, and it's a nice little railway, and the car park looks full today, so they're doing well. It's around about 1.5 to 2 miles, this little track from Ludborough to North Horsby, and at the station at North Horsby there's a pub just across the road, so people could have a little ride on the train, go in a pub, have a drink or a meal, and then catch a later train back. It's all very nice.
Lovely dog roses.
What do you think of the show so far, Keith?
Go to Peterborough and there's dog roses all down the bank.
I say, what do you think of the show so far?
Oh, it's very nice. The weather is beautiful. After we've taken a ride on the train, I've already arranged for us at 2:30 to go and aid with the track laying.
You can go.
To take us into Louth.
Louth's the other way, mate.
I might add, as you're watching this, it's I probably did this in about 2004, and there was a vintage car display on as well, which they often do these special days. It could have been a bank holiday weekend or something. I know it was a special day, else these cars wouldn't be there, so that's why the car park was pretty full, so people come out and have a nice time in the lovely weather. So now we've moved on to Waltham Windmill, and they have a small track there, small train, and as we're all train enthusiasts, they've come to have a look at the monorail that they have there, which is quite good, quite a good little track. So you can see what size the trains are. So these people make the trains themselves, and then they come on special days to run them throughout the summer. Very popular. They charge about Well, it might be up to £1 now, but it was about 50p for a ride round the track. So Keith and Ernie decided to have a ride on the train. I've been on it several times, and Nina's on it as well. So I thought, well, they're filming themselves on the train, and I'm filming them so they can see themselves going round on the train. Because that one's it's electric, that one, I think. Oh, it looks like a diesel, but I think it's electric. But they have some lovely engines there when they have a big day and they get more engines out. So Keith's having a word with one of the drivers of the engines. And there's the windmill. It's an active windmill as well. They actually make flour in there. And over on the left there's a museum, Lincolnshire Life Museum. And this lovely sweet shop that does all the sweets that you used to have when you were little kids.
You're not only in cinema style.
You're a dramatist who got it. My wife's been doing it.
And there's a nice picture of a Lancaster flying around the windmill, because the Lancaster used to fly from this area. There's an airfield just across the way where they used to have the airfield during the war years, and all the Lincolnshire bombers used to fly from there. And he's heading for the windmill, and we've moved on now. We're on the Thorpe Light Railway at the boating lake at Thorpe. So we've come up here now. Yeah, there are plenty of little railways round this area. This is the boating lake, although there's no boats on that part. It's a good railway, this. It really is a nice railway.
My husband
What, a
took when he
funny
was
thing?
there.
A steam train?
Steam trains.
What area?
My husband used to take the kids and
This is the Discovery Centre, but we went in there, but I'm not showing that film. We're staying outside on the railway at the moment. I think we're going to go for a ride on it shortly. So we're just coming into the station now, so it's a pretty good ride that. There's 3 stations, there's this one in the middle, and then you go a little bit further on and there's another one. So we've now moved on to Horseshoe Point. Ernie's gone back home, so we're just me and Keith now. And Horseshoe Point's on the coast. It's a nice area to go and have a look round. It's a very dangerous area as well, because if you don't keep your eye on the tide you can get cut off. And that gully, what Keith was looking down, they get filled up with water too, and it's been known a few times where people's lost their lives. They've been out there and they've fell in one of the creeks and drowned. And Keith was looking at some flowers which were left there for some people who lost their lives. There's some boys, I think it was, on a bike ride, and they got into difficulties. That's the way out onto the main road. There's a signpost there telling you where to walk. Yeah, it was sad loss that. You've really got to be careful. See, it all looks like grass, but there's gullies there and you can just fall in just easy, and it's mud as well, and you can't get out of it. They never did find the kids and the bikes. There's the flowers. I never did find them. Maybe the crabs got on, because there's some little crabs there, look. He's fascinated Keith. They're not that big, but whether you can get really big ones there or not, I don't know. You'd have to come when the full tide was in, I think. But they're fascinating creatures to watch, aren't they? You'll see in a moment where they bury themselves and how they do it.
It's there. I've got him all the way.
Shadow made him go.
Yeah, keep your eyes on this one, because this is the one that buries himself. There he goes, gone. We've now moved on, we've gone as well, we've moved on to Chetton Lock, which is a nature reserve as well, further down, and there's the lock, there's the river, and people come along there fishing. I brought Keith along here. Right in the distance there's some of them wind farms. I'm not sure whether they're in a field or whether they're in the other side of the River Humber, but it's all fields. There's one of the forts that's in Humber, and there's the lighthouse, all in the distance there. That's why the camera's wobbly. There's somebody there walking on their own. So we're carrying on. There's some swans. I think the white balance is a bit out there. That's how it should be. Now that boat is in the River Humber. It's an oil tanker by the looks of it. And of course I should have mentioned that lighthouse you saw was in Yorkshire. It's on the other side of the River Humber. So the farmer's busy doing things on his field. And that's Halefort Sands. Halefort Sands. It's in Cleethorpes. There was two of them. One's in the River Humber, and they used to have a net across them from one to the other in the war years to stop submarines going up the Humber. There's Keith coming up, and I think he might want to say a few words here.
You go.
Yeah.
Give you a gap first. Right, okay, so this morning June and myself spent the morning in Grimsby shopping. Cost me a lot of money. And then just by chance I rang our young Michael, and he's taken me to Horseshoe Point, where we saw where the little tidal rivers come right inland, making it very, very dangerous. And little crabs and shrimp things, absolutely fascinating. And now we just walked about another mile and we're at what I think is called the Tetney Locks, where we've got a tidal river coming up here. I don't think these locks are ever used at all. The water's very murky. We've seen swans and we've seen ducks, but we've seen no babies. So I don't understand that. Maybe this is not a good breeding ground, but it's been gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. It's time we ought to go now, I think.
Yes, because we've got dinner tonight at the
Linton.
The Linton pub, where we dined on Sunday. So we're going there again tonight, but just as a foursome. So it'll be very, very nice.
So you point which way we've got to walk back.
Well, if you look down there, down the river, and then you can see a path going right down here, and I should say it's about a mile back to the car.
Okay.
So, au revoir, back to the car.
So yes, the cows have come this end again, and as we start our long walk back to the car. Been very nice, yes, very nice. I'm not quite sure what happens here, but all of a sudden the cows decided to make a run for it, like a mini stampede. So here they go, look, whether the farmer turned up with some food, I don't know, but they're off. And so are we. We're off to Thorpe Watermill. It's a few miles the other side of Louth. Very interesting place. Animals, birds, fish, all kinds of creatures there. It's a very interesting place to spend a few hours. So I hope you enjoy looking around this Thorpe Mill.
What about that then?
That's one.
Yeah.
There's some rainbow trout Yeah, they look like salmon when they get them on the table. They don't taste like salmon, but they look like salmon. So there's some nice rainbow trout in there. And of course we stopped for a cup of tea outside the cafe there, and we got talking to a couple of ladies there, and I got a friend in Bundaberg in Australia, and surprisingly enough to me, that they just told us that they'd just come back from Bundaberg.
I've got him.
Never mind chucking at me. You're not.
That chicken is on the leg of somebody from Thorpe who visit Bundaberg, no less. And where's Bundaberg?
Australia.
Yeah. When are you going again?
We don't know. We don't know. Maybe 2004 when it's my eldest sister's 60th birthday.
Well, I shall send this little bit to my friend if you don't mind,
No, I don't mind.
and tell him that we've met some people who visit Bundaberg.
We got that on video, and then we
even,
can reminisce on this.
Yeah, we even walked round the Bundaberg brewery.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, through the brewery.
Through it. Yeah, we just...
They're drinking the Bundaberg rum, eh?
Well, you had to pay to go through, so you could get a glass on the way out.
Oh, right.
You know, I was just thinking.
Well, we've reached our final destination now. There's Keith there staggering up all these stairs because we're at Covenham Reservoir, and this is our last port of call. So we've done quite well today, and we've been all over the place.
Good review.
Wow.
And it's right in the middle of the country. I think that's the Lincolnshire Wolds over there, and this is the reservoir where Angling Water supply us with the water. Yes, actually the level's not as high as it should be. It's a bit low, and then they do have a yacht club there, and people go sailing. There's nothing much about at the moment. There's a bird watch, your hut, where you can go and look through the binoculars in there, see what wildlife you can see. But it's quite a large reservoir, that. That's Cleethorpes Pleasure Island over there in the distance, but it's closed now. It doesn't exist anymore these days. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this out and about. We certainly did. Keith's just having one last look round, and then it's time to go time. So we'll catch you another time, okay? Bye for now. Thanks for watching. one last wave from Keith.